Hey guys, who's in here? We
What
just in here
up?
talking. We're gonna be coffee sitting here by yourself.
Yep.
Okay, so I know Michael G. She's a wildflower. Hey Brenda, Kevin, TT1. Hey Random. Hey guys. How about that? There's something in here. Hey Leslie. If I miss you, I'm sorry.
What up?
I'm
There
trying to
we
make
go.
fun of hey Coffee First. Tiger. Miss Sharon. All is well. Miss Sharon's in here. Cigar Prepper, how you doing?
What up?
I think I've seen everybody. Anyways, welcome to Live. Yes, I got Josh on here. We're not random. See, we plan them if we're on my channel.
No, she plans it. Yeah.
I plan them, and I'm like, you better be there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how's your what is today? Say Monday? Is it Monday? I'm
Monday,
like, is it
President's Day.
Wednesday?
Yeah, I know. President's Day. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on. Hey, all
Man,
y'all coming in. I see you. Now I have to be careful because I'll go squirrel on the Hey McBain on the chat.
I
So I'm
got you.
not ignoring you tonight. If
No,
I
you're
don't see
good.
you, I'm not ignoring you.
Yeah, we're good. Look, listen.
Yeah.
We can't go wrong with what we're talking about tonight. It is impossible to go wrong with what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's needed because we were talking about it's getting worse. We have to check ourselves, not just pointing fingers. We're seeing this more and more.
Yes.
And rightfully so. But we have to check ourselves. You know, I have to check myself with this. And this isn't random what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Yep. Agreed.
And what it's going to cause.
It's jujitsu. Yeah.
Sneaky little ninjas.
Look, hey, just to kind of tap in real quick, there's so many things. To be honest with you, like, was that an echo? Why am I echoing?
You're not on my end.
All right, never mind. Let me move the mic back. Look, there's so many things that are happening. I'm scared to go to sleep without checking my channel. Well, not my channel, but other channels. Because there's so much. There's so much. What is he doing over there right now? You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's my thing. Y'all know about the big speeches tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Doing those big speeches tomorrow. I have never, now correct me, put it down in chat. You may know anything else. I have never, and I have not found in search and looking, has there ever been in history that they've done that he said it has to be, he ordered, it has to be broadcasted on every TV and radio station live.
I didn't know that.
And don't they have like 10 or 12 time zones over there? It's so big. But so everywhere live. But I did see a thing earlier that there's billboards across Moscow, and it has like, stuff, several things written in there, kind of war scene things going on, and it says there's no turning back.
What?
So, I don't know.
There's so much going on. So much.
I'm interested to see about this, what his thing. They said they predicted it would run about an hour, and he's ordered it has to be broadcasted live everywhere.
It's going hot. So there was another video that I saw. I don't know if this is factual or not, but supposedly yesterday, I think Pop B kind of verified it for me because I texted him. I was like, "What do you think?" He verified. They found one of those the let me see, PIPE, the things on the tracks. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of coincidental for everything that's going on. I'm saying CW 2.0. That's where I'm going with it.
Right.
That's where I'm going with it.
What was it you put up? I didn't get to really see it.
No,
Are they cutting off the water? What are they doing?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so what's going on with that? Because I didn't see that. And I was coming in here and I was like, what did Josh put up here? And I didn't get to read it.
I'm random, so I just see stuff. I throw it out there for the fam so they could be like,
right.
What do you think? But supposedly, a lot of the things that are being like spilled or whatever, or in the clouds that are traveling and stuff, they're forever. They're like the forever things that just don't go away.
Yeah.
And so Cincinnati and Kentucky, they cut off from the Ohio River. They cut their inlets off from the Ohio River because they've picked up trace elements of these things. That's huge.
Of course they would. Well, right there where it joins, it starts going into the Mississippi. If he gets in the Mississippi, because it comes everywhere. But they said that they were starting to see some signs that they were concerning at the opening right there at the Mississippi at the top by Ohio. So I'm like, if he gets in that, well,
That and for me, that's why I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm the random wild guy, but that's why I'm saying CW 2.0. I don't know who's doing it. I don't know. Could you imagine seriously if like major like water sources were not viable?
I
Like,
know.
yeah,
And I mean, just all these different, I keep talking about it, that the government owns all these subsurfaces, and so many of them are springs.
yeah,
I mean, they good. They gonna be in their bunker, got fresh water, fresh air.
yes, and for us, I even hate to say it, but the noose is like it's you know what I'm saying? We're
Yeah.
watching it kind of like get smaller and smaller
Yeah.
until it's happening, y'all. Prep up. Yeah.
Yes. And with all these things we're talking about, I mean, things that are going on, and then some, because it's nonstop, every direction we're getting hit. It does create that confusion. Because I mean, how much are you? So much goes on, and you're just kind of like, what is going on? I mean, we know like overall these different things, but you're just like, I mean, there is that point where it's just, and we get bombarded and we get tired and fatigued with things. That is part of this life we have. But they have created, they are creating, they do these things to create that confusion.
Yes. Yes.
And we're seeing that more. We're talking about that. And it's like these delusions things that they're doing, because even like we think, oh, we know how they are. We know what their agenda is. We know how they plan things. We know the way they work in their games. And then we'll see like a flip of something. We're like, wait a minute.
Hmm.
That doesn't make sense.
Right.
Now what's really going on? Who's there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah. One of the big ones for me was
Yeah.
the whole UKR deal when it kind of first popped off. Not first, but like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
We would always get these like these videos and like news reports saying UKR is winning. They're winning. They're doing this and they're doing that.
Oh yeah.
But for me, like legit, like I don't know, the Bear. They at any moment they could just send thousands of
Mhm.
the guided things over there and just decimate the entire thing. So there is no way that UKR could legitimately be winning. But the news and everybody else wanted us to be behind them, and they were just screaming, "They're winning! They're winning!
Oh yeah.
They've got this victory." The confusion.
The
That's what.
confusion. Yeah. And that delusional stuff that causes confusion, they're doing
Yes.
over and over. I mean, and I keep thinking that, I've said it for how long? I'm gonna go back and find old videos. I said if we have like an EMP, if there's gonna be some attack like that, it's
Yeah.
gonna be the Red Dragon.
Oh yeah.
And I think, I mean, like, we talk about everything that's gonna go on. I think when things pop off, it's gonna be several places in one.
Uh-huh.
Red Dragon's going to go into, they're going to take on Taiwan. We're going to have, Israel's going to be, I think it's going to be on and on and on.
Yes.
And I think there are going to be more things like where some of the we're seeing surface area things now, where things I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. How does that fit into this? And
Right.
of course, there's tons that do, but I'm seeing the confusion more and more. And then we have to, and like we were talking about a while ago, we were talking about Revelations 1:8. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, says the Lord, who is and was and who is to come, the Almighty. So, because I have faith, because we have faith, we know what the ending is, regardless. It's getting through this middle part that we have to, keep our focus right. Because it is. I mean, we're in this flesh. You're bombarded. You're exhausted. There's fear. There's all these things we've been talking about. We've been doing these series, and things will pop out, and me and you will kind of get up with each other,
Mhm.
and because we're real. I mean, we're same, and we're up here, in the seats talking about it, but we deal with it.
Yes. On a daily basis, multiple times a day. Yes. Yes. But I'm
Yeah.
keeping it in check. I'm trying to keep it in check. I know who to channel. I know who to talk to just
Yeah.
straighten everything out. And I'm good. Hmm.
And what? And potatoes over in
UKR doing it
he's
big.
over there. Not in Ohio though, right? Okay.
No. The other guy's going to Ohio.
Yeah, he's up there. Yeah.
He's going tomorrow. The other guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I'm talking about, T-Man?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That don't
he's
bother
going
me. Say it
tomorrow.
on here. I don't care.
I hear you.
But so what do you got?
About what?
See, y'all see what I got to deal with? I don't even make
No,
notes.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just playing. uh, confusion. So when you brought it to me, seriously, like I was like, wow, yeah, no, confusion. Uh, confusion right now. It's a tool that's being used. It's 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 like an upper tier, upper level evil tool that is being used because confusion is literally it's like you can't have I'm gonna tell you seriously, hey fam, check it out. You cannot have fear. Fear doesn't come onto the scene. Uncertainty. Stress cannot rear its ugly face. Lying and being misled. None of those things can come into your psyche unless you have confusion. It's seriously, it's like jujitsu. Like you're using your own force to kind of throw the other person off. Confusion is so horrible and awful and evil and conniving and slick. And I see why. Just as right now, I see why the confusion is so dense. It's so thick right now.
Yeah,
That's evil's go-to.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then go ahead.
Oh, that's it. That's all I got.
That was it.
Yeah, it's
I mean, like even like some of the stuff that's going on, the I'll say on ground level of the confusion, what's going on in Ohio. I mean, even people watching videos, people talking, emails I get, just conversations, stuff like that. It's just kind of that confusion of what do I do? Where do I go from here? Do I try to get out? Do I try to stay? Is it this bad? Are they reporting? Is it worse than they're saying? I mean, it just, and then, like you said, that domino effect of all the other, the fear and all those other things start piling in. Well, what
yeah.
happens when you get so emotionally beat down like that?
Yes.
And you lose your focus and you're exhausted, and then it's and then some of the things, I think we always say that it's like a lot of these things come in waves where it's like getting kicked in the teeth after you've already been kicked in the gut and you're down. And they do that. It's that overwhelming,
Yeah.
things. And they know what they're doing.
They're just getting started. They're with the
Oh,
confusion.
absolutely.
Casey, look, fam, y'all know, I always say nothing happens by coincidence. And the reason that, seriously, fam, we're bringing this confusion to you is because the confusion is about to multiply. If you thought that you were confused about what is going on now, it is about to multiply. So we got to get it in check now. We have to talk about it, which we just want to give you guys some tools. When things
Mhm.
get too confusing, at least there's always gonna be this one thing that you can go to, and it's who is it, Casey? Who's that one person you can always go to?
Josh.
No, it's Jesus. She's fired. Hey fam, she's fired. Yeah, no, you're good.
No, it is. I mean, and no matter what, I
Yeah.
mean, that's what we always pray. What I say it all the time. What do we pray? We pray for discernment.
Yes.
Y'all don't pray for patience because he's going to teach you something different. Okay, anyways, that's a different show, but he will. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Save
Forgiveness.
yourself.
Yeah,
But it is
forgiveness.
the discernment, but even not just on like we think of discernment of people or different things. It's situations, everything that's going on, and this confusion. It's like, I mean, sometimes you don't know. I mean, how much are we talk? How much do we talk about? Oh, that's a distraction. Oh, this is real. There's that confusion. They're creating that also at the same time of this is real. This is a distraction.
Yeah.
They know that we know certain things are distractions and just fluff they put in the news and stuff like that. I don't know.
Casey, that thing you sent me. I was really busy, so I just glanced at it real quick. But seriously, this is why at some point in the game they're gonna have to try and get rid of. Look, it's like stages. This is why they're gonna
Yep.
have to try and get rid of religion. Somebody left a comment last night, and they were saying, they're here for when you cannot find a Bible, and there will come a time when you will not have
Absolutely.
access.
Yeah,
was
and
like,
I don't know how. I mean, that is, like I sent you that thing, and I don't even know. Will that
Yeah.
get us in trouble on here? I don't know.
let me be quiet.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just bringing
Yeah.
up, but there's coming a time, and there's Alphabet Boys leading
Mhm.
that on that Christianity,
Yeah.
how it's illegal in certain other countries. That's coming to that's in the works. That's in their game plan to come here.
Spiritually prepared. I don't think a lot of people really understand like how this is going to come, how it is going to unfold. Right now, look, this conflict that we're headed into is going to be so crazy that seriously, you may not find the Bible. And afterwards, you're not going to. You're not going to be able to talk about Jesus. It is going to be banned after this conflict.
Yeah. Well, they say
So
that's what I say. Hide my word in your heart. Not does that mean I
nice.
memorize the Bible? No. No. You better
Nice.
find, you better put those things in your catch and bury that thing outside somewhere. Anyway,
Nice.
moving on. But yeah, I mean that is very real. And people think that would never happen in America. It would never. There is so much that has happened in the last couple of years. I never in my lifetime would have thought something would come to pass that has happened.
Seriously.
And so many people have just given it here. I'm gonna put a bow onto it, and I'm gonna hand it off to you as well.
Yeah.
And so don't think that it can't, because then so much things are stripped away, and then people turn around and be like, wait a minute, how'd that happen?
Yeah.
How do we let that happen?
Mhm.
Well, they're creating all the confusion and the delusions and the distractions and
Yes. Yes. They're pulling on heartstrings.
yeah.
This is one thing that I always like to talk about, since we're spiritually speaking, talking about the Bible, talking about confusion. Um, my revelation at 17, and it allowed me to see clear. It tapped me into like this other, like, I don't know, just level of communication. But so when I was 17, I had my revelations, revelation of gratitude, and we're talking about confusion. What I want you to understand is that at 17, I had it for like 2 weeks, and then I got pulled back into the world. At
Right.
17, I had this revelation, and I didn't realize it, Casey, at the time, but there was absolutely no confusion at
Yeah.
all with anything, with life.
It was
Some,
at peace. Just like that thing up there. It was that peace and
yes,
understanding.
yeah. Seriously, I stepped out of all of the confusion. Like I said, I probably could have stayed in longer if I would have just done right. But we're
Right.
2 weeks. Basketball, high school basketball, my scholarship to Tennessee Tech. I was stressing, worrying about it. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be confused. It's all taken care of. My next meal, you don't have to worry about that. It's all being taken care of. My future, am I gonna be successful? Am I gonna have kids? Am I gonna have a? Don't worry about it. The
Yeah.
confusion of the questioning and the confusion of all that was taken care of,
Yeah.
because I was experiencing God on a different level, my revelation.
Right.
And the thing is that us as people, it's almost like your purpose. It's like, spiritually speaking, legit, I'm not gonna lie to you, like a lot of us are thrown off of knowing what our true purpose is with God.
Right.
We,
His
we
will
have,
for us. Yeah.
yes,
Who
it's
we are in
career.
Christ, not the world.
Yes, it's careers, it's work, it's finances, it's paying the bills, it's taking care of the family, it's the 9 to 5, the hustle and bustle of life. That's what we're given. So we roll with it and we make it happen.
Right.
But there is a whole nother purpose that he will show you and remove the confusion without a doubt, if you let him.
Well, that goes back to how we talked before about surrendering stuff. How much do we like? I got to keep a grip on this because we're going to talk about this guy, but let me still kind of control this.
Yeah.
And that is normal. That is that flesh part of us, and that is okay. And there's so much. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many things like we can't control. Like we feel like we're in control of, and I have to do this because I'm prepping. If we're talking about this area,
Yes.
there is so much more we have no control over. We have no control over.
None.
And then we get in our own heads about it. And then we spiral into this confusion. Well, what if this? Well,
Yeah.
I went down this rabbit hole, but now I should, and it's
Yeah.
I mean, it is. And I'm a ruffle some feathers. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. Just not what goes on in the world, the chaos that we're seeing. And what we talk about all the time. If it's not, there's not a gray area when it's like if it's coming from God or there's no in between. It's God or it's from the devil. I mean, I hate to, but that's
Yeah.
how it goes. Because you can't be a middle ground with that. I mean, just like how we were talking about backstage and everything, Satan will use them, the elite, the people doing all these things on and on, because he will work through them like Christ works through us, right?
Yes.
And I'm not saying these are bad people. I'm not saying it could be like a bad person. It could be a wonderful person, nice person, all this. But there are going to be people that are going to come into your life and in your path that were set there to cause you confusion.
Yes.
And I think that's part of that discernment thing and I think we'll see that more and more because of the time we're in. Because of the time we're in this world, but the time that we're in biblically.
Okay. Absolutely.
Because God will use people in your path, but Satan will put people in your path as well.
Yes.
You don't need to come people always think, oh, it's just come and it's just this darkness and this evil and this mean, scary stuff. No.
Yeah.
They may not even know that. And that's why I think that's that relationship. And you ever you have that, like you said, those 2 weeks you had that revelation, you had that closeness, you didn't have any confusion, you didn't all that type of stuff.
Gone.
So you'd be on that path. And you're like, I have this relation, I have this close relationship. I have this peace. I have this understanding. I'm going forward. And then somebody may come around, whoever it is. I don't know. Could be work, friends, family, in the community. And all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, I just feel this weird confusion and this chaos. And you're like, I'm not doing anything like gruff and mean to me, but I'm having this, and you gotta watch that too.
There you go. Pull back.
But get them scissors out, snip, out, cut people off.
That's one of the reasons why I'm like Mr. Lone Wolf. I know it won't work. I know
what you're saying. But
Seriously.
I'm not I don't just let people in. I don't. I mean, we have to be protective like that. I'm like that in general. Before YouTube, before in life in general, I'm very cautiously aware of my surroundings and people at all times.
Gotcha.
I don't just let, we have to be. I think that's the protection. And that's why I pay for that discernment. And if I get that uncomfortable feeling and God's like, not that one, I'm like, oh, he said, sorry. I can't talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah. My fiance's grandson, like I'm grandpa because,
Yeah.
This dude puts everything in his mouth. It doesn't matter what it is. Casey, this is new to me. So I'm fascinated.
That's normal baby stuff.
Is it? Look.
Yes.
He will come in this room. He'll kick the door open and find anything and put it in his mouth. And I'm like, he has to have the best immune system in the planet. Is that why babies do it, to build their immune system while they're small?
Yeah.
But look, so it's kind of like that with me, because I love everybody and I'm Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky. I only trust a few. I love everybody, but legit.
That's how I am.
And so I run across all types of I'm not gonna lie to you, different types of people, different situations. I'm Mr. Observant. Seriously, I can tell what you have going on with you. I can discern what you have going on with you. I'm Mr. Observant.
Right.
So yeah, you're right. I don't know. I love everybody, but I'm careful about who I trust, and I'm observant. That's just something that I learned, because you don't want to be picking up stuff from everywhere, and it will leech on to you. It will cause confusion. I've dabbled 45. I've dabbled in whatever Anunnaki. They just put us here to mine the gold for the atmosphere. I've dabbled in the Emerald Tablets, the Book of Enoch. I've dabbled in a Selassie, a bunch of different things, and it causes confusion. But the one thing is that the Word of God, the Bible, has always brought me back to I'm just rambling. You got it.
No, I mean, I think that's great that you're sharing that, but I mean, just be careful, because the times. I mean, Satan knows his time is short.
Yeah.
Jesus himself doesn't know the hour. He's got to be on ready and guard. I mean, we see biblically things that are playing out, that are falling in line. We see that. Anything we talk about this all the time. Anything to pull you off your path. Satan doesn't go after people who are living for him. Right. That's why it seems like you ever see these awful people like these elites or any different things. And then, they got money and nothing ever happens. But then also, Satan don't go after them people. He's already got them. Yeah. But things will come into your path and cause that. That's why you just got to be careful.
Yes.
And I'm one of those people being like, oh, I just want to save everybody, give everybody the same grace. I love you, I'll pray for you, on and on. That's just my. But I'm also guarded. If I have that, I don't just. We have to be that way. Not just.
Yes.
I mean, as preppers, as Christians, is our safety, on and on. We have to be that way.
Yes. We
So
have
don't
to.
let somebody be like, if you know something in your spirit, do not let somebody come in your path and be like, no, come on, no, that's not what that is. Don't,
Right.
like, no. If
Yeah.
something, if you get that feeling about anything,
Yeah.
don't let
Seriously.
somebody else confuse you about what you are grounded in with God, that relationship.
Yes.
And if it hurts
Absolutely.
if it hurts somebody's feelings, sorry,
Yeah.
go lick your wounds. I don't know what to tell you. I'm
Yeah.
I know that sounds ugly, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. All right. So look, let's check this one out. So some things to be looking at in the future, right? And the thing about confusion is that it's layered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Programming. What is it? The television, the programming, all that stuff. So we all have had since birth a certain amount of programming, just through television, ideas, how life should be, what life should be about.
Right.
The idea that God had intended for us is totally different from any of this. But just to chop it up, just some things to be looking out for. Politics. Listen, we're headed for a conflict. Politics are
Yeah.
about to get started, campaigning, the presidential elections, 2024, all that stuff. Left versus right. And
Mhm.
look, I understand that our community is primarily on the right. You know what I'm saying? But it would do a lot of good to sit back and just kind of listen and see what both sides are doing.
I
Because
think we always should wear everything and see where.
yes,
I'm always like, what's theatricals and left wing, right wing, same
yeah,
bird.
yeah,
But yeah, you do. But I think it's important to see both sides of everything,
yeah,
because it's not like that's what I'm following and believing, and this is where I'm putting. Okay, this is what's going on. This is where I'm putting my trust of what. But you need to know what both sides are saying, because you can read between the lines on that.
yes,
You need
yeah,
to know what's coming from both angles.
right.
That's
Yeah, we all have internally, we all have like set like goalposts that we don't go past on like our individual beliefs of what we believe and how things should be. And to be honest with you, politics won't solve any of those problems, any of those
yeah,
issues that we want solved. But moving forward with this conflict, fam, the politics, they're gonna play some games and it's gonna be massive confusion. So,
oh
so
yeah,
all I'm saying is, look, you can just do this because it never fails. So whatever they're up there talking about, compare it to what the good book says, either side. And if it doesn't line up, if it doesn't match, no, time to move on. I'm not listening to what you're saying. They are not of the Father.
right,
All right, what about this one? Confusion. I've got 4.
yeah.
Left, right, politics. There's certain words that I want to say, but gender,
No,
race,
no.
finances. So look at what's happening with gender right now. You want to talk
You
about
talk about
confusion?
confusion. Never in my life. They don't know if
And it's
they're up
not,
or down. I mean, but
yeah.
again, that people are like, oh, well, that's a distraction. There's so many angles. There's not just one thing of why that's going on, and that could be a whole show or everything. But the confusion, and they have implemented that because they're starting it at school level, all
Yes.
the way to the bottom.
Yeah, it's not us.
I mean,
It's
it's all the way, and do you know there's so much that goes on with that.
that is horrible.
It's not just this gender thing. There's so
Yeah.
many other things that it's kind of like when they pass out these bills. It's like, well, oh yeah, here's the bill, but we 3,000
Yeah.
pages of other things that it
Right.
affects as well.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. No. And when you look at it on surface level, when you just look around at the country and see what's going on, uh, legit, it's the younger ones. I'll be careful. Try to be careful with my words. It's the younger ones that are being like affected by this more than anybody else. And
Oh yeah. Because they always
and
go
this
after the children, don't they?
yeah. And so when we're not here anymore, the kids are gonna be like, hey, this is how it is. This is how it's
This is the
it's
norm.
been.
If you're not this way, then and what
Yes.
better time at those ages when they are trying to find themselves and trying their
Yeah.
they're uncomfortable. I mean, we all remember those times, and that's normal processes that we go through and we learn, and
Yes.
creative. That's the normal process that builds and shapes us. And I mean, that's why they do the schools like they have
Yeah.
today.
Look,
And they've
hormones.
implemented all this stuff that you never, ever would have heard, even you wouldn't have talked about that at school. And if you talked about it at school and somebody heard you, then they got a call to your parents. I mean,
Yeah.
and now that's curriculum.
Chima always be playing. She
I'm
always
sorry,
be
Mrs.
playing.
Jack.
I appreciate you, Chima. She always be playing. Hey, yeah, look, hormones. That's what I'm saying about how evil confusion is
Right.
to go after the youth. And I can remember, kind of, sort of, but puberty or adolescence. You're
Yeah.
blowing in the wind.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever is cool in school, whatever's hip, I can only imagine that with social media. Whatever is trending, it's the cool thing. So all you need is a nudge from MSM or a TV show that you watched, a public TV show, and some kid, some young boy was wearing fingernail polish. You know what I'm saying? That's all it takes. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's with the hormones and everything else. They're laying the foundation for me. They're laying the foundation for what comes after this conflict. They're laying it so that it will be aligned with evil.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and so that's what's happening right now. Finance. That's another one that I have with confusion.
Well, look what the confusion of what we put our true principles and priorities of how we should handle our finances, even that are biblically based, because it is in there also. All the answers are in there. Look what the stuff they throw at us about to spend your finances on, to keeping up with the Joneses, that you have to have this, you have to do. I mean, and then there is that confusion. I mean, they started in with kids as well. I mean, it just goes all the way up.
Casey.
And I mean, look at the uncertainty we have with the U.S. dollar, with everything. Seriously. People don't know what to do. Do I pull everything out of the bank? Do I even have a bank? Do I buy silver? Do I, what do I do? I mean, that is confusion. That overwhelming confusion about stuff.
How many times have we heard that an economic collapse is coming? Like the confusion of it all. And now, like, people are getting priced out of life. Casey, look, let me just tell you. Fam, let me tell you. I'm so ticked. Look, I'm so ticked. Today, I went to the grocery store, right? And I had this good routine where I was cooking on Sunday a meal to eat for dinner, a hearty, full meal to eat like every day of the week until next weekend. Like beef stew with lots of beef and lots, just
meal prep. You were just
Mm-hmm. And for lunch, whatever, and breakfast was a smoothie. And so I got off that. Don't ask me why. I got off of it, and I was like, okay, just eating kind of whatever. Man, I was going broke. So today, you know how we talk about the rice, like prepping? Hey, if y'all didn't buy rice months ago, then right now it's gonna be twice as much, twice as hard. So I stopped doing all my meal preps, and I went to the grocery store today, and I was like, I'm gonna get back on it. I'm gonna get back to it. For my smoothies, blueberries. I've got everything else, but I don't have blueberries. Blueberries was $15. What was it? It was outrageous. Look, I had half a basket of stuff. And when I finished like checking out, it was like $188. I was like, hey,
that'll hurt.
I was like, did you get my Kroger's Plus card to take some? He's like, yeah, we got it. I'm just like,
I'm not paying it forward. I didn't buy the guy behind me.
Yeah. But I had a half a basket of stuff. How can people afford this? That was $180. And I know when it said 180, I looked around and everybody around me had just about the same, if not more stuff. How are people affording this? I told Amika, I was like, hey, bro, he was laughing. I was like, man, these prices are expensive. He was putting the meat on the shelf. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to start eating less. He started laughing. But legit, how are people doing this right now? Any idea?
I mean, there's a lot of different things. Don't eat meat every day. I mean, there's all these type of cuts. People are having to make these decisions.
Fam, I'm asking the wrong person because she has answers for all of this. Casey does.
Yeah,
straight up.
Let me get this question Rescue had put up here.
Go ahead.
Casey, little question. The phrase "love your neighbor as you love yourself." Do you think the term neighbor means all or your neighbor in Christ family? I mean, I think that loving somebody doesn't mean come over into my house and I'm welcoming you into my life and I'm going to put up with whatever. No, I can love you from afar and still pray for you, whether it's your salvation, whether it's something you're dealing with, whether you're a complete creep. I mean, whatever the situation is, I can
Yeah.
pray for you. But I think you can still. How many things in our life have we ever had to sever any sort of relationship with somebody because it was toxic, but you still love them in Christ?
Yes.
You know, you pray for their salvation and everything. But that I don't think does that help answer you? I don't think that means oh, I can't stand my neighbor, but come on over here because I have to do this. This is a Christian thing to do, and I have to just let everyone in. No, nothing in the Bible says that you have to be a doormat to anybody or that you have to. It says in there about protecting who you allow around you. Because what is the verse? I can't remember, but
I don't know.
it's basically about, you know, I mean, it's kind of that thing.
Yeah, just say it.
I can't remember how it goes.
Do
I don't
it.
want to misquote. So don't
Spit
quote
it
me, but
out.
it's something about you know, bad company will ruin good morals.
Okay.
So, I mean, there is that. So I think that, and that's in the Bible. If you know the verse, put it down there for me. And I'm way behind in chat maybe, but I hope that answers that for you. If not, then you have to ask me again.
I'm in agreement with you. Seriously. Look, I love everybody. Seriously.
I do. I am a good-hearted person. And I can grieve and hurt and be worried about somebody that I want nothing to do with.
Seriously.
I mean, in that I am that way.
Yes. And if I have it to help, you know, while I have it to help, then I'm gonna help.
We're gonna put you, TT1. I'm gonna put you on the prayer chain with that, okay? Forever. I want him to be the funniest, coolest guy there ever was.
He is. Hey,
he is hilarious.
I know.
If you have like these deep things, or you got like all this confusion and chaos, and be like, I don't care if it's not Saturday. You go watch an old Saturday. You just go get you some snacks.
Yeah.
I mean, I will be like I will be like laughing. I will be like tears coming down. He's so his energy and everything.
I laughed the whole time. His entire live. I just seriously
and his expressions about everything. He makes I mean, the whole show.
Seriously.
Yes, but TT1, I will pray for you. Be the coolest.
Hey, bro. I share it out every time. Every time you go live, I share it out, bro, because people need what you got, man. Seriously. You make me laugh. You make me happy. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, brother. Legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What finances? Well, go ahead. Do you think?
Yeah, I have everything that has to be hand operated. I don't buy a lot of fancy electrical stuff because I'm old school like that, and I'm not going to run out of batteries, electricity, and all that. Yeah, and I mean, talking about the grocery store stuff, that's what we constantly say: grow what you can. I don't care if you have to grow indoors, and that is what I am so upset about. What is going on in Ohio and the areas around it's going to affect, because here we are, we're like, oh, okay, you can't afford stuff. We're talking about the grocery store stuff, right? And it's like, well, grow a garden, grow container gardens, grow stuff in the house, and you're supplementing that.
Yeah.
Can you? If I lived in that area, I would be terrified. I could not put anything in the ground and consume. And it's not going to go away. But like, time next season comes around. Oh, this summer, and it give it a couple months. No, this is for decades. And but see, that is part of that. They know what they're doing. There's so many levels of what they're like, oh, we'll do this. Oh, yeah, it'll take care of that. Check. Oh, it's going to take care of this too. Yep. Casualties. Yep. Check.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes on and on.
Yeah. There was a thing, I don't know when it was, a couple months ago, but it was an article talking about how they're going to stop gardening, home gardens and chickens and stuff. And it was a list of things. And what's happening right now was actually on that list. Listen, people were talking. I don't know what I can and can't say, but people were talking about.
Say it. I don't care. I'm just.
People were talking about having irritations. Just like irritations.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's coming out.
And that's just them. Yeah. So can you imagine like the water?
Can you imagine if it's doing that to their outside? What their skin is on, the biggest organ. It is here to protect us. Can you imagine their mucous membranes and stuff going into their lungs and body?
Seriously.
What it's doing? If it's doing that outside of you, and this was made to kind of protect you, what in the world is it doing to their lungs and everything else?
Yeah. And the fact,
Yeah,
seriously, I ain't gonna lie
that
to
is a
you.
true story.
And the
What
fact
the
that
bear said.
Kentucky and Cincinnati closed off the inlets from the Ohio River,
Yeah,
that's listen, anybody else who's either like down the line or who has inlets that they haven't closed off, they're probably sitting there thinking like, wait a minute, what about us? Th- It's a bad deal, and it's only gonna get worse.
it
Bam.
is.
Yeah. I don't even know if you can. I don't even think you can. The tools that we use, like the Berkeys and the gravity, can. I don't even think that we can filter out some of these elements that have been placed within. Can we? I don't know.
Probably. I don't care. I'm gonna get a strike anyway. I'm due for one. Where's my calendar?
No,
Aren't I due?
Casey, that's not how it works. No,
Right.
that is not how this works. We're given a platform to speak the truth in the gospel.
But I am speaking the truth, and it gets me in trouble.
Kind of, well, you know what I'm saying. Stop playing. Fam. We gotta use this megaphone. All right, so look, all right, so what about this one? What up, Papas? I appreciate you, brother. He left me a really good comment. It was heartfelt. I love you,
He's
brother.
always in my stuff. I appreciate.
he?
Look, I'm not lying. I just have a really good chat.
So,
I
yeah,
have like such a good community on here. I just love and appreciate y'all.
I think I got most of like the. I ain't gonna say that because then other people will be mad. I got a lot of good people from like the people who follow you, Casey. Like, appreciate it, y'all. Seriously.
I'll share them with you. They're good people.
Yeah, no, I love it. Prayer.
Yeah.
So confusion. What tools do we have to kind of fight against confusion? Uh, prayer, wisdom,
Right.
discernment, and understanding.
Yeah.
Primarily, those are the tools that we have, guys. So when we get to a point and just things are just they're confusing. Like I said, on a daily basis, I'm confused. I was changing the motor mounts of my car, and legit, I was like, man, I'm confused. Like, what is going on? And I just stepped back and I was like, hey, God, look, give me some, give me some
Wisdom or
focus.
something.
Yeah,
Or throw a brick with a note on it or something.
yeah. But look, in order to combat confusion, pray for wisdom,
Yeah.
pray for understanding, and discernment. Those are three tools that can counter confusion. And you may not even like what you get. Casey, for me, you're talking about the voice, God.
Yeah.
You know how I know when it's real? Because it's 9 times out of 10, it's something that I wouldn't agree with, something I don't like, something I don't want to do. Why?
I know. And you're like, are you for real? Maybe you didn't hear me. Let me say it
Yeah.
again.
Can we talk about this?
I know, but that goes too. He's the beginning and he's the end and everything in between. And
Yeah.
so he does. I mean, he knows all, he sees all, and he knows what's in the future. He's already on the other side of what we're going through right now. And what hasn't come to pass, but we know is coming. He's already on the other side of that.
Yeah.
So
done deal.
I have to find, and don't get me wrong, I am human. I do have worries and fears and concerns. And like, why does it have to be this way? But I am always I always come back to being grounded
Yeah.
with being in his word because he tells us. I mean, he tells us,
Yeah.
so I find that comfort in there. But I mean, I know what you're talking about. And there's times I thought, no, are you sure that's the way you want me to handle
Yeah.
it?
Really? Come on.
Okay, well, let's just sleep on it, God.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
I
talk about this in the
understand.
morning. No,
Yeah.
I'm so serious. It's
Darren.
always.
Sorry.
No, you got God.
I'm so glad you made it live.
Yeah. It's always. It's seriously. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's always pray for understanding. Yeah, and observe for the answer. Absolutely, rescue.
And
Appreciate
you
you,
may
brother.
not get it right away. We think it was going to be like, okay, I'll hear from you by end of business today on that. And there's
Yeah.
times, and there's that time in the waiting. It's that be still.
Yeah.
You have to, and that waiting is. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's waiting, like on prayer or with God.
Uh-huh.
If you're like waiting for test results, or you're waiting for something to come. You're just like, oh my God, and then the confusion and the snowballing, and it goes on with things that, yeah.
Yeah. I've had major questions about things in life. And yeah, it was like 2 or 3 days later. I met somebody randomly and we had a beautiful conversation. and I had to tell him. Seriously, I literally had to tell him. I was like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know we just met and we're just talking, but God sent you, and thank you so much for being a vessel because
Yeah.
you just told me what I was praying about. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And they were like, oh
Oh
my
yeah.
God. Yeah. You have to be open and willing to accept, to not accept, but what is it like to receive the
Yeah.
incoming signals when they
And that
come?
may be the only person for that person's that moment in your life that's the only moment that person was supposed to be in your life is for
Yeah.
that
Seriously.
confirmation, you know?
Seriously.
Because you may have been wrestling with like, I'm not trying to hear that God, but
Right.
or I didn't hear you. I didn't quiet myself because I'm trying to figure it out myself and didn't listen.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm just pointing fingers at myself too.
Hmm.
Yes. Right. The devil is the author of confusion. He loves it. And that's why he is fueling and controlling and working through all this evilness, all these evil people doing all this.
Yes.
He knows.
When confusion shows when it rears its ugly little head, then you already know what time it is.
Yeah.
If the person that you're listening to, look, fam, if the person that you're listening to, right, is confusing you, if contradicting themselves and it's confusing, just tell them to go pray about it because what you're saying is it's not lining up.
Yeah.
And that's a tool that I use. Seriously, if I meet somebody and we're talking, and off top, I'm confused about this person. I'm confused about what they were talking about. Then I already know either they're dealing with some things that they need to work on, or something's telling me that that there's a little bit of not so good stuff somewhere in the equation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather for somebody to come to me and say, "Hey, look, this is how it is." Da 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 da. That's it. Boom. And
I
I'm
know.
on my
I'm a very straightforward. Like, don't be fluffing anything, beating around the bush. I mean, even like one of my things, I'm like, here, this is what it is. These are facts. This is what you need to know.
right.
I'm straightforward about stuff. I don't sugarcoat anything for me.
Yeah.
Like we talk all the time. Like, now you give me all the details, the good, bad, and ugly. You
Yeah.
let me sort that out and deal with it.
Right.
And that's how I want things given. It doesn't always come to us that way, but I'm like,
Yeah.
God, you know how my personality is. Just work with me.
Yeah. Seriously. Come on, God.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. And this was another thing for me too. Like in doing my little research about confusion. I found out there was one instance where God actually utilized confusion.
Yeah.
We were talking about it backstage.
Now
The
y'all
tower.
listen closely because we ain't talking out both sides of our mouth here. Go
Yes,
ahead,
thank
Tom.
you. Thank you. The Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
Look, hey, the Tower of Babel, which I feel is CERN right now in nowadays our days. But the Tower of Babel, I think there's more to the story than what was being told. But for whatever reason, God basically said, "Look, these people they're doing too much, and we're gonna implement confusion so that they cannot understand themselves. The language we're gonna mix it up. So if it's that just shows how powerful confusion is. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to clear this one up for me, Casey. Seriously, but but he utilized that to stop something that was being done by us that was really bad. And
Well, but God created that confusion for protection as well.
yes, there you go. Thank you, Casey. Bring it home.
The confusion that is being put in this world and that Satan is using these individuals to create the type of confusion is for evil, to
Yes.
destroy us.
Hmm.
So that's a totally different, angle.
Yes.
God had to use that too for protection.
Yes. Thank you. It just shows me how powerful of the tool it is. If
Oh yeah.
if he decided to
Using
utilize
that
it.
mind will make you question everything. It'll make you
Yeah.
question yourself. Make you question things front and center happened or you did yourself if you let it spiral out like that.
Yeah.
That's why I talk about like you better stay grounded in things because look how many people all the stuff we've been talking about, the confusion they're
Yes.
causing, whether it's the genders on and on and on. They create that and then people they're more likely to collapse into and bend into whatever they want them to do,
Yes.
which is what their agenda is. That is what the purpose of all this is. That's
Mhm.
why I tell people, be aware of things. Okay, this is what's going on. This is what I need to do. Don't stay down in it.
Right.
what I say, sitting in the shadows. It doesn't matter what it is. You're sitting in the shadows. We have to keep moving forward with stuff. Stay grounded in stuff, and be level headed about
Mhm.
things. That doesn't mean you can't have moments. We all have moments.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you have a lot of that confusion and you're just like, I can't move forward with this or whatever, you better, read the word. It's going to give you the answer. Talk to
Exactly.
other, are true godly people
Yes.
because sometimes we do have that. We get too much in, we overthink things, and God
Yes.
is so clear about like his word and everything. It's just that I think we overthink things, or we make things more complicated than what they are because we're human.
We're
That's
human. Yeah, we're human. It's complicated down here, y'all. It's
It is.
crazy. And
Yeah.
that's another reason why I always say I am so thankful that he did come down and give us the good book to be a sacrifice. You know what I mean? He didn't have to, but he did. So that we would have direction in these days. Because just like I was saying the other night, Casey, it is all going to break down. It is it is
It has to. For them to usher in what they need to do, it's going to they got to break it down.
yes. You know what I have a question about? This is what I wonder about, right? So the reason the good book says that it's going to be an MOTB. You will not buy or sell. It says that there will be guillotines. One world deal, all that stuff. It's coming. It is coming. So they're gonna have to really package this thing differently. They're gonna have to make it look cool and sexy and pretty, and for us to buy it. Because if we know what is coming, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody knows the MOTB. Nah, not happening. Can't buy or sell. Maybe CBDC cryptocurrency.
Right.
You see the guillotines, it's a wrap. But they're gonna have to package this thing in a way that it's still gonna have to be somewhat desirable.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the things they're doing now is making it desirable. And okay, we're talking about the grocery store. When
Oh,
somebody is starving or sick,
yeah.
especially if it's somebody's children or some sort like that, even if they need medical or something,
Mhm.
they're going to fold to all of that and comply a lot easier.
Yeah.
And I think that's why that is the why they're creating and doing all these things along the way. They're all stepping stones. None of this is just like kind of random or whatever. They are their playbook. And I've said before, they are so patient and detailed in their end game and getting to it. They know.
Yeah.
That's why we see things in clusters. Why do we
Yes.
see these things that's like all the same thing in clusters? And then next 6 months it was this, and then next year it was this cluster. We see that
Right.
because they're doing that. Okay, let me answer this. Okay. How would you address that to all the code in the Bible intended to confuse those who cannot decode it?
Mm.
Well, I think that's having that relationship with God and giving you that wisdom and communication. If you have a
Yes.
relationship with God, you're going to understand that. There are a lot of things and answers we don't have in this world. We'll never have. And there are things that God left that we would not understand. We cannot comprehend or understand why we're here in this flesh on this world that we will. But I think that's what you're talking about as far as decoding it. If you have that relationship and praying about stuff for that wisdom with him, he will, you will be able to understand that.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to that? I think I'm understanding what he's asking.
It's funny. Seriously, it is really funny because like you answered what I was gonna say just like in a kind of different way, but it was the exact same thing. I've spent years, what I'm saying, in church. My grandmother dragging me, my sister, my cousin to church, sitting in
Yep.
church Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Torch store's open, you better be there. Yeah. Wearing your
Yes,
polo shirt.
seriously.
Khakis in a polo.
Yeah, I don't feel good. Now you're going, boy. Well,
Go on. You better pray. You need to go to church and pray about it then.
yeah, and Casey, don't tell me it just happened. I was doing so good.
Did you squirrel?
I went squirrel. Okay, no, I got it.
No,
I
pray
got it.
for
I
it.
got
Okay, go ahead.
it. Thank you, Father. So I spent years in church and I heard, I'm gonna say almost every verse you could think of, and it's just in one ear, out the other.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until
Just
I
words.
actually was that? Yeah.
It was just words.
Yeah, that's it. It didn't. Whatever. I've heard it 1,000 times. What did these people keep coming to hear the exact same thing over and over? This is boring.
Yeah.
And then finally one day I said, you know what? I prayed and I said, I really want to know what this is about. The prayer was, I want to see your face. Show me that this is real. You know, just out the blue. I'm spending so much time here. It's got to be something to it. And then it happened. And then every second that the preacher was preaching, the words were explosive. Something clicked.
Yeah.
And I hung on to every verse in every scripture. I started writing stuff down. And it was better than like any like sci-fi movie or TV shows. I had to have it. The words meant one word. Love meant 6 different things to me because it was actually coming from the Father. So you have to want it, and then once He gives it to you. What was the question, Casey? I know I'm bad. Sorry, fam. Sorry, y'all.
You're not even running this show. That's why he has them on my shit all the time. We were talking about the confusion. He was talking about decoding the Bible and if you don't understand it. And I was saying when you have that relationship, God will,
He'll clear it out. He'll make things crystal clear. Yeah.
And I mean, have you ever had that time where you're just like, man, I just gotta, I need to read my Bible. You're almost going through the motions.
Yeah.
But you didn't have that. Okay, let me pray and let's kind of, hey God, let's kind of talk about this a little bit because then He'll kind of guide you and direct you. And you're just like, what am I reading?
Yeah.
Did you, who wrote this? I mean, you do. And I mean, we have those moments, but then there's other times something will slap you in the face and you'll be like, oh,
yeah.
There it is. I see now.
The other night. Yeah. The other night.
Right in the mouth.
Yeah. I wasn't planning on getting on YouTube the other night. Just randomly. And I found some verses and it just something hit me and I was like, you know what? I want to share this with some people.
That's the way it is, man. That's the way the Spirit works.
Sharon's got it.
She does. She got it.
For real. Yeah. Man, there were videos that came out like last week and they were like, anybody within the area of Ohio where the thing happened, please go get bottled water now.
I'm so worried about it. And then even in just the immediate area, I'm like, no, it's gonna. Yeah, it's gonna. And I'm like, it's gonna spread out. And that's not a fear mongering. That's a me caring. And see, and that's probably that kind of nurse and mom. That's just my personality. I was created that way even when I was young. I'm like, I just need you to be okay. And that's why I'm yelling at you because I want you to do what you need to do.
Right. Y'all nurses, boy.
I'm telling you. And I can't, and like we talk about, there's so many things we cannot fix. We cannot change. We cannot do anything about it.
Yeah.
We can't. I mean, and so, we do what we can and we have to give the rest to God and trust Him with that because He's well aware. None of this is a surprise to God. And that is a comfort for me. And if He was, because He can stop anything in a blink.
Yeah. Seriously.
And so if He was okay with it, I have to be okay and trust that. Doesn't mean I'm going to like it. That doesn't mean we're not going to be uncomfortable. None of us are immune or excused from trials and tribulations on this earth.
Yes.
Throughout history, that's been going on.
Yeah.
And so, you're going to be uncomfortable and you're going to have to go through some crap sometimes in this world. Look how many people in history, look how many people biblically that were wonderful people, that awful things happen, but we know what the end is.
Yep. Yeah. I said, I guess it's kind of controversial, like in a video a while back. And a lot of people are like, what are you talking about? And this is just me. I don't hold as high a value on physical life as this existence as, I guess, a lot of people do. And just from everything that we're talking about, the way everything's laid out, look, when we die, we go back home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, I don't just for me, fam. I don't think that He places as high of value on life as what we do, because He knows that. Look, this whole thing in His time could just be like a snapping of the finger. We're here doing all this crazy.
The time is so different in heaven. It's but a blink.
Yeah.
And that's like when people get petty about stuff, which can grind my gears. I just don't. with that type of stuff. You know, I kind of look at people. I'm just like, is that what was the thing? If it's not going to matter in 5 years, don't spend 5 minutes worrying about it or
Yeah.
being upset about it. I mean, I know
Right.
emotions struck up and different things like that, but I'm like, you know, God will humble you because at the end, we're all just walking each other home. So you better make it a good walk on the way because we're all in this together. We're just going through this.
Seriously.
So why are we having all this pettiness going on? We got enough coming against us that's evil. If we're all in saying, "Oh, we're the body of Christ," we're all here. We're on the same page. Those of us who are, I'll say that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I don't take a lot. I take things serious, but I don't know. I'm kind of lighthearted, and I'm just kind of enjoying the ride while I'm here. I really do view this experience as a ride, and that is it.
Right.
I know at some point I'm not gonna be here, but I'm just
Right. While you're here, yeah.
Yeah.
And I do everything going on. We talk about that. I'm
Yeah.
like, you better still enjoy every single day. Every single day, there's good around you. There's good around you. Look at it. Stop. Yeah, you're aware of these things. Okay, what's going on? What may come up? I need to prep. Of course, we need to do those things. God, we're supposed to help ourselves as well.
Yeah.
But you need to find your peace and enjoy it. There are things to enjoy.
Yes. That's seriously, I really do believe that that's what this life is for. It's for us to enjoy it in wholesomeness and in loving other people. It's hard to do it now because everything's so screwed up. The people in power have screwed up everything. But our entire life is meant to be something totally different here on this planet. And like I said, with him, it's like our parent letting us go like spend the night for the weekend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then we come back home. That's what this is. But a lot of us get caught up because of the confusion. We get caught up in like I said, the daily life, the grind, all like the pitfalls, the depression, the low points in life. And we get so involved in those things repeatedly that we forget that we're just here visiting.
Yeah.
This is just a sleepover.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that puts things in perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, because I say, you're worried about everything, but you need to do more work on your eternity than what you're doing so much than what you are doing for this earthly life.
Yes. Everything that
could nothing, you can't take any of this with you. I'm big on people, and I'm sorry, may ruffle feathers, step on toes. People who work themselves into the ground till they're 65, 70 years old.
Yeah.
And then for what?
Yeah.
You're not taking it with you. You're not, you're not getting a pod to take everything back into your mansion. I mean, I just think that, there's a video going around showing loaded.
Be careful.
Cars marked. Cars marked toxic and everything. What do you mean?
And you still
loaded?
No,
we can't say that. We can't say toxic.
No, it's your channel. Do it. You can
look. You can if I'm not here tomorrow,
you can always come over to mine when you're doing your time out.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I haven't seen it.
CW 2.0. That's where I'm going with that. Seriously, I don't know who. I don't know what, why, when, where. It's too coincidental. Look, going down a rabbit hole. It could be something from something from the southern border. It could legitimately be a well-funded, well-planned, group that's doing this. It really could.
Right.
It could be internal, but it's too coincidental for it to just be like bearings overheating, brakes failing. It's too coincidental. It's too big.
Well, I mean, biblically it says there's no such thing as coincidence.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the word. That's in the word. I mean, it isn't.
And is it us? Is it like us, or is it somebody that we don't we're not aware of yet? But the one thing that I do know is that all these things will happen. The reason that I'm prepping water is because these things will happen. They will continue. They will ramp up.
Oh yeah, and I really think a lot of this stuff, especially everything's going on in Ohio, I was like, oh my! As soon as that started going, and then I realized the magnitude of all of it. Yeah. I was just like, you hush, Papa Farm. Don't say that. I thought y'all were praying for me not to get that.
What happened?
I thought y'all were praying over a hedge of protection over me during this.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think I see. I was just like, oh my. It was just kind of like that. Oh man, I know what they're doing on so many levels.
Yeah.
Of course, the food, the water, the poison, the casualties, on and on and on. Destroy all this rural area, and everybody's going to have. Oh, you got to move now. It's not
Yeah.
safe. You can't stay here. We're going to take care of you. See,
Hmm.
they'll do things like that. And people will be like, I'm sick. I can't do this. I can't. They're going to comply easier.
Yeah.
And this fear and confusion. Oh my gosh. What am I? We can't stay. What do we need to do?
Yeah.
They created that.
It's kind of the rural areas. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not in the middle of a major city. You know what I'm saying? It, it's all planned.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that right there, Josh.
Hey, no, yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
just
yeah,
say
yeah.
823 on the back, and the last part is one.
Yeah, 823. Come on. With no seatbelt and the thing still up in the air. Hey, anti-hijack. I had just read that one on my cell phone. But look, no, bro. Yeah, we're all gonna die. That's just because when we're in that front car and we're getting ready to go down, we gotta be like, we want the full ride. We want
Josh
everything.
hands in the air.
Yeah, if I go this time, then we're going, bro. But let's ride it out and scream and yeah.
Has anyone heard about this? A metal plant? I thought I
Yeah.
saw something earlier. So that it was a metal plant in
Yeah.
Ohio as well.
Mm-hmm.
Why is and then you think about it, I'm like, why is Ohio targeted? But I think it's because everything is running with the way everything connects.
Gotcha.
And the rural, there's so much farming there, Pennsylvania, the Amish, all that type of stuff. I guess.
You know what? Seriously, there's no boogeyman. It doesn't make sense. They haven't found a group of people. They haven't found a person. They haven't pinned the tail on a specific person. I know there was the one guy Norfolk, who was supposed to go up to Ohio, but he didn't talk to anybody. There's no bad guy. Even with the balloons, there's no bad guy.
Right.
Like, we're still trying to recover debris. We're still trying to figure out where did it come. We know that the Red Dragon had. Yeah, seriously, TT1. How about that?
Didn't even go there.
Yeah.
Our commander, and
Yeah.
don't even get me started.
Yeah,
My
seriously.
heart is so heavy for those people up there. I'm like, I'm coming to get you.
Anything. Send.
Yeah. I'm like, you're not helping. FEMA's not helping.
Yeah.
And not only you not going there, you're going, don't get me started.
You just go through all the words. I was gonna say FEMA, but I was like, nah, I ain't saying FEMA. Yeah. I mean, how hard is it, to make a call and send some assistance?
At least say face, play the part or something. No. And to me, that's so much more in the face, because you know how all the time in history we've been for like, oh, they're just kind of, it's all the fluff. They're just kind of doing it for the cameras. All that. They ain't even doing that anymore. It's like, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm like,
hey, I'm sure the people who were prepped up were happy that they were prepped up.
yeah.
But I'm prepared for that to happen all over the place. Seriously, legit, all over the place. Yeah.
Oh, I believe that. Because most of the blue collar, all the different things, Amish, they're more self-sufficient, they're more awake, not woke. They're more awake about what's going on and everything like that.
Yeah. You know what I'm worried about? Not worried, but what I'm watching out for. So I know that they're in control. They have everything planned. They're sowing confusion and all these crazy things. But for me, there has to come a point in time where just for a little bit, I don't think that they'll have control. I think that's the independent mini. I saw your comment the other night and got an email.
It's hard when you do this, guys, truly, because I'll be reading this. I'm like, what, Josh?
I know.
It is. I do try to. It is. We can get like squirrel on stuff. Yeah. And my thing is, I think that they're so driven by evil and greed.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get in over their heads with what they're doing as well. Because
Seriously.
you ever think about everything that they're doing that affects all us? Us common little bottom feeders down here. And I'm like, well, the air doesn't affect you and yours.
Right.
This doesn't affect you or yours. I mean, you're exposed to things as well, right? I mean, I think about that, but I wonder that often. But I think their focus is so evil and so just greed.
Hey, off topic, totally random, different. Have you seen? I'm gonna code my words. Have you
Yeah.
seen the people who supposedly were on that LISTS, the flight thing?
Oh, yeah.
Have you
You talking
seen
about
it?
I've seen like bits and pieces where they would run and talk about certain ones. Most of
It's
them I kind of
everybody. It's everybody.
that's why Hollywood is so evil.
Everybody that
That's
like
what I
I've
said.
seen, and I'm like, no, no, not you. Yep, everybody.
I know I had a couple. I was like, what?
Yeah,
But see,
seriously.
when you find out, you'd be like, I can't even watch their movie. It could have been good
Yeah.
movies like them. I do, and of course they're you know sweep that under the rug.
So,
There's too
so
much
what about
going
this one?
on.
Yeah, yeah. What about this one? And I'll leave it alone. So you think everybody that we saw on that participated in like weird things or
There's no
observed
reason
weird
that it's
things?
pure and good that you would be there.
Okay, yeah. Say less.
I mean, because one did more than the other, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
When things like that, it, if you want a participant, but you're there and know what's going on and didn't protect the
I hear you.
innocent there,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
you enjoy your flames too.
It's
I'm not afraid about
everybody.
that, but I have no tolerance for stuff like that
It's
at
all
all.
of them.
Yeah, but I think how many times do you hear it? Like they sold their soul to get to where they are.
Yeah.
And they cause that. Can you imagine how much confusion's over there? Look at all the child stars that grow up in that industry.
Yeah.
How messed up
Yeah. Yeah.
that happens.
Yes.
Um,
I got you. Yeah. Yeah.
and that they cause that.
Traumas, all the crazy stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and those traumas and everything, those cause confusion in people too, especially if
Yeah.
they're not feeling that.
And then they get on like the big screen and project it out to everybody else, and we consume it.
And they make them so lovable.
Yeah. KC. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, I can't look at certain people I've known and I'm like, I'm not gonna
I know.
enjoy and laugh or like, oh, I just love this character they played. It's such good. No,
Yep.
driven by evil. Get out of my
Yep.
face.
And I ain't even gonna lie to you. For me, when they were showing like the different faces and stuff, a lot of them were females, and I'm just like, you
Oh, yeah.
gotta be lying. Nope.
No, I think that goes in hand.
Yeah.
There's stuff I can't say on here.
I got you. Yeah. No.
That bigger
Yeah.
group of what they get
Yeah.
into. And then they say, if you try to leave that or you don't come on over here, come to this
Yeah.
dark side. They're after you. You're, you know.
Wow. Yeah. We have a really big fight on our hands, not just from entertainment and AI and GOV and our basic survival, trying to afford food. We've got a big fight on our hands, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I know that there's gonna come a point in the time where I'm gonna have to turn it all off. You know what I'm saying? Lock the doors, grab my Bible and my pew pew, and be ready to lay down the law. Seriously, and I know that it's gonna come down to that. It really is.
Yeah.
Don't be confused, guys.
No, I mean, even that. You know how we talk about, oh gosh, where's TT1? He knows. When you sit in that, is Pop B in here? When you sit in that seat, that wargaming seat,
Oh yeah.
and the spotlight's on you, and people are going to look at you different because of how you answered.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, when you get in that, I'm just joking because you're like, oh my gosh, it's sweating. I don't even know who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, we joke about it all the time, but it is true. We are going to be faced with things like that, and we have to stay level-headed. Even times like that, you're going to have to be like, the confusion that's going to come over us in those situations.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready. I'm prepared.
Yes, War Game Wednesday. That's
Be like,
everyone, you're going to have to go through you're going to have to go through that. That's just part of it.
Yeah. I did it a while back, and I was just like, yeah, everybody's just gonna get it. I'm not taking any chances. Hey, I'm gonna be like,
I talked about it. People were like, what? I know what, and I'm like, I have to go with what I have to be rational. I try, but we're gonna all have our.
Yeah. Hey, Casey, I'm gonna be like, if they're like charging me or like they're coming for me, so I'm gonna be like, brother, I love you, but I'm sending you home right now.
You need to go home and think about this.
Yeah, that home.
I mean,
See ya.
whenever it comes to your own, we have to do that.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah. Tell him I said hey. Yeah,
I
there
got
he
a meme
is.
I made. Poppy, I got a meme I made. I actually sent it to TT1 because we were joking about it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
send it to you. Um,
yep.
it's about being in, wargaming with Pop B.
Oh yeah.
But
Let them all
um
have it. Yeah, seriously, y'all think I'm playing? That's gonna be my mindset. Seriously,
you gotta protect you and yours. You have to. I mean,
tell
if
him
you
I said,
come down to my
yeah,
kids and stuff,
yeah.
sorry.
No, I'm that's it. I'm like, tell Dad I said hey. You'll see him before I will. It sounds bad, but I'm just saying, you'll be all right, bro. I know where you're
He ain't
going.
even on Pop B saying people are judging. Oh my God, you see here what Josh did?
Yeah, you'll be fine, bro. I'll see you. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, there's going to come a lot of that. And I think that's part of, I say knowledge is power, is you better go ahead and have go ahead and tucked away in your brain that you're going to have those chaos. You're going to have those moments. We're going to make mistakes.
Mhm.
That's what happens.
Casey, I'm so thankful for this, seriously, because fam, look, I know we joking and we laughing and stuff, but we're in the mix. Like it's real. We are in the mix. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure once we end this one, there's gonna be more things that just found out that the red dragon and the bear that they're gonna be sending armaments over to support them. South Africa is joining the
Oh, yeah.
bear, Russia.
And see, I really, in all seriousness, like how
Yeah,
we joke around, you have to find laughter. Where's TT? Well, he says it too. You have to. You'll go crazy. You
yeah.
have to find that. You have to. You have to do that. It's good for you. That doesn't mean that you're not taking anything seriously or being heartless, but you know what I'm saying. But tomorrow, whatever the Bears,
Yeah.
whatever his speech is about to be about, please look into that. Don't keep your head in the sand. And
Yeah.
that's not a fear thing. You need to have knowledge of you just need to, because, it's just something. And then there's a lot of dates. Okay. So tomorrow's the 21st and he's having that speech. There is
Yep.
something, I cannot remember what it was. There's something, and it was a credible source. And they were talking about something around between the 23rd and 25th, something was supposed to go down. And it
What's
had
it
to
like?
do with this. And it was after I thought I sent it to you. It doesn't matter because Josh didn't check his email. But anyways, moving forward, he's got about like Josh.
I'm sorry,
We're going live in 2 minutes. Where are you? You're supposed to be back there. No, but and also I know you're busy. I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, you're
But
good.
yeah, so hold on.
I always
Um,
show up though. I'm always here just in time.
you are.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Oh,
it's 5 a.m. Yeah, because that would be.
so it's 4 my time.
Y'all better get up.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'll
Eastern
set an
Standard Time,
alarm.
y'all better be up.
I'll roll over.
Be on your
Yeah,
phone.
yeah.
I
With
wonder
the
what's
lights
it going to be
dim.
on for us. Will they show it in, or you just go to like RT, like you will go to the RT
Probably,
and watch it?
probably YouTube.
Hey, Versatech, you sneak
Somebody
in
will be
here?
somebody will be live streaming it.
You think?
Yeah, yeah. Things are heating up, y'all.
I mean, I do. I think they're going to have. What
Let
is?
me read the comments, man. Let me see what's going on.
Yeah, you need to get in here.
I got it
You're
on the
doing
big
everything.
screen, the full screen. Ah, there's everybody. Chaos, Debbie, Versatech, Annette.
No, no, Poppy, you get up.
Yeah,
Come on.
make it
You
happen,
got to be
soldier.
doing the war game. You got to be telling us.
Yeah, make
This
it
is
happen,
on no
soldier.
pressure.
We're about to be in the mixer like the gremlins.
God, Lord. Even him
Yeah,
would say that.
we are.
You think so, TT1? You think it's going to be just idle talk?
Oh,
I mean, I think what have I said? I said if it's going to be like a boots on the ground, if it's going to be certain things, I just thought it was going to come from the Red Dragon. I think
yeah.
that's why they're quieter about certain things
I
than
mean,
him.
I'm,
I think a lot's going to go on at one time because it creates the
yeah.
chaos, it creates the confusion. You don't know which way to look
Yep.
or what to do.
What up, chaos? But they came out today and said that they're going to support, Russia. They're going to
Mhm.
be sending armaments to, that's big. That changes everything. then supposedly India's not our buddy anymore. All types, South Africa. It's crazy. It
Yeah.
really is. Yeah, I think a lot will happen very fast. Um, but
Mhm.
again, I'm worried about the time when the people who are controlling all this, there's going to be a time period where they don't have control. They're going to be
Yeah.
in NORAD in their bunkers, watching, sending this, sending that, doing, comms, all that stuff with the military. But literally, there's going to come a time where we are going to be on our own, and the confusion will be ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we say it all the time, and they're not coming to save us or help us. We see
No,
that on a very in comparison. I'm not making light about Ohio because
yeah,
we're seeing that on a small level with how they've done Ohio.
yeah,
Can you think if all heck just breaks out with everything?
Casey. The Red Dragon has it's a balloon warfare program. They can launch thousands of those things with
Yeah.
any
Isn't there
kind.
another one right now? Is it over Hawaii?
Yeah,
I
I
heard
think
that
yeah,
today. Yeah, I did, Ma Bear. I'm trying to get through. I put that on my thing earlier because I got an alert on my phone and then I just
yeah.
screenshot it, put it in my community. It was like a 6.8 2 weeks after that
Really,
devastating one. And I don't even know what the death toll
another
is of
one.
that was. Yeah, today it was like 6.8.
Dang, Casey, they could send thousands of those balloons. Just let them go, and they
You
could
know
have
what
any.
I would think? My thing is like, oh, they're I was like, what if they're gonna release those and they're like, "Oh, yeah, they'll take them down," or they are programmed to leak a certain way, and I'm like, "Man, they're leaking
Yes,
bio stuff." That is what I kept
no,
thinking.
that's where I was going with this. Yeah, seriously, and we won't even know. We
No.
won't even know, and if there's
Until it gets you feel it.
yeah. So when I say confusion, y'all look, 500 balloons with payloads over the country. We are in tactical nukes have been fired between countries in Europe. We are in this thing. It is going hot. North Korea is mobilizing. China. I'm trying to paint a picture of how like crazy this whole thing can get. And we've got we look up and every day there are fighter jets shooting down these balloons and stuff. But we don't know if something's coming down. We don't know if the water's good or
Yeah.
not. We don't EMP.
And if y'all follow me, you watch, and I may have put it over on Rumble a while back, but
Yeah.
Bugman, you know who I'm talking about? Bugman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. He came out with a list that he had talked about last year sometime and said, these are the 11 bio or viral loads he was concerned are going to be bigger than what we just went through.
Yeah.
And well, they do that. They toy and they announce those things when something's going to happen. There was a list of 11. And I went through them and I talked about each one, what they were. And so that was my concern is they were going to release stuff.
Yeah. See, and all these things are like they're possibles. They more than likely will happen. Our water may not be safe to bathe in, to clean things
Yeah,
with.
just to soak. I mean, if you know those people who have like in high areas, there's certain areas you can look at different maps that have high the forever chemical in it.
Mhm.
People just soaking in it, taking a bath, or eat up with the big C because
Wow.
it just goes right. It just from their
Yeah.
bath water.
Really?
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
And they're not regulating. I talked about that before also that they were going to stop monitoring and regulating that chemical.
Yeah.
The EPA and stuff like that. They're going to stop regulating it.
Yeah. It, Casey, so that's why like when I do see stuff, when I do see something that's like, you know, not normal, it's crazy and
Right.
I don't know and it's confusing me.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna lock my doors. I'm gonna listen to a little bit of news, try to make some sense out of it. I'm gonna pray for wisdom, understanding, and discernment, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna do whatever you know my father tells me to do, which will more than likely be stay in the house and don't go out. You know,
Stop peeking out the blinds.
yeah. He's gonna say, "This is why I've been telling you to prep." Yeah,
Exactly. And that's why, we do. I've talked about this before. I have people who are of faith
yeah,
that will send me nastygrams that I am not of faith and that should not claim to be because I prep.
I get those all the
Oh,
time.
okay. I'm gonna pray for
Comments.
you. Good night. I don't know what else to say to them. I
Yeah.
mean, did they read they read the good book thing? Because it's throughout there. It
Right.
says to do that.
Yes.
But it is. I agree, Miss Sharon. I do have the best chat.
Yeah. Yes.
But do you got anything? Y'all have anything else you want to throw in? Please do that. We get our time gets away. Been running about an hour and a half, but
Really?
Just be ready. And I think knowing like we're gonna have confusion, they're gonna create confusion. I'm gonna have confusion come up myself. When you set your mind that that's gonna happen, I think you get a better handle of it. It doesn't make you spiral.
Yeah. Yeah. We've actually laid out some pretty good tools in the few of these lives that we've done. I'm actually
I think
really happy
so.
with it. Look,
I am too, and
Tell
I
a
get so
person-
much from them.
me too. Tell a person how many times. Prep.
3. You
That's
got 3
it.
times, and then I'm gonna leave you, and you can come with me, or you can stay in the shadows.
Yeah. Forgiveness.
Yep.
It not only helps the person that you're forgiving, but primarily it helps us. It unburdens us.
And how much? And
Confusion.
we talked about things
Okay.
that forgiveness is not, and that was so much. That was so
Yes.
important. Not just forgiving. Oh, you forgive them. Forgiving people like just 70 times. I just forgive them all. That doesn't mean that you bring them back in. I think people have that confusion, but we talked so much about what it isn't, and I think that was a good clarification on a lot.
Yeah. And yeah, confusion. Look, when you see it in these coming days, in these current days, when you see confusion, just know it is not of the Lord. It is not of our Father. It is no good.
No. Mm-mm. And there isn't a middle ground with stuff like this.
Yes.
It isn't like, well, it's not God, but that doesn't mean it's Satan.
Tell him, Casey.
It's just not.
Yeah. You see it, I'm out. It's a flow chart.
And
Go.
it doesn't, and I'm like, it goes at so many levels about the confusion. The big stuff we're seeing on bombards, the world, everything. You can go low levels. It could be somebody that is just come into your life in some manner.
Yep.
Anyway, they've come in and like, something. But how much do we try to talk ourselves out of that? Because we're like, I don't want to be mean. They haven't done anything like awful to me that I would rate that, but I have gotten bit because I wrestle with, and God's like, okay, then fine. Go ahead and see what happens then. And you just have to be in tune with that. Okay. So another earthquake just hit Lebanon. I haven't seen, but I've been on here. I just saw the one that hit Turkey again, but all these earthquakes, that's biblical also.
Yeah, it is.
Good night, Ashley. I didn't see you, but I see people telling you good night. Anyone that's left, good night.
Bam. Glad y'all
I know, I'm
here.
trying to get through. Yeah, all these.
Yep.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a tough time. It's gonna break people. It is going to absolutely break people. In America, fam, I'm sorry, y'all. We are the most spoiled population on the planet. I'm not saying we don't work hard for what we have, because we work harder than just about all the other countries to try and survive, to pay bills and stuff.
Yeah.
But we have everything. Air conditioning,
what's
stable internet.
that thing? Tell about taking things for granted or
Yes.
not seeing things. There's like, there are people praying for exactly what you have. They're praying all the time for what you have that we take for granted.
Yeah.
And, it's all going to come down. But hey, I appreciate you, Josh. You always bring it.
I try. I try.
He does. I mean, you're always you. And I get such good feedback. I do. I always get tons of emails. People are like, they'll share up with me or just thank y'all or can y'all keep doing these? It just helps me so much during this. And I'm glad that's what we do. But I personally get so much out of these myself.
Yeah, me too.
So I appreciate you.
It's armor. Is that a word? Like armoring me up for what's coming? Yeah.
It is. I mean, because we do our things too. We talk, we get up here, but we have the same struggles as anyone else.
Yes. Seriously.
So remember that as times are going, because I think a lot's going to unfold. I'm sure we'll have all kinds of stuff to Right? He just ain't here for it. Wait, we can't do it yet, Josh. He don't have his helmet ready.
It's almost ready. Hold
He
on.
needs he needs another couple days.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe a week or two. Seriously, I only have the airsoft helmet. Look, it's coming together though.
Let me see what you got.
Kind of, sort of. So the comms, I'm gonna have to go and purchase like all the real stuff, but the comms, kind of, sort of. Let me see. Yeah, come down, kind of like that. They fit well. But I'm gonna have to spend seriously. Like this is the mock-up, so I'm gonna really have to spend like some money to get the legit setup. I want the
I get
comms
it.
going into my bail thing, the mic, all that cool stuff with the light.
He's gonna be like, okay, it's ready. He's gonna be walking around every day with it on, like, I'm ready for to go so I can use my helmet.
The neighbor's gonna be like, "Oh my God, Josh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, really."
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, when
All
it
right.
goes hot, it's gonna go hot. Everybody's gonna know how
It's
serious
going
it is.
to, and I think it's gonna. I think it's going to. I think sooner than what people think.
Me too.
That's my opinion. All right, guys. Look, I appreciate all of you. Truly, thank you. We couldn't do all this without you. We get so much out of what y'all throw out here as well.
Virginia.
Stay safe. I love all of y'all. We will see you next time. Y'all have a great night.
Love y'all. Prep up, fam. Yeah, throw that